Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. We're talking about cricket particularly, and we'll start off with the lineup. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. It is Pakistan versus Australia, the limited over series now where Pakistan has beaten Australia in the third and final one international by 9 wickets to clinch the series 2-1 and beat Australia in a one international series after 20 years. It's a huge omen, the way the guys performed. Imamul Haq, Babar Azam, our bowlers starting from Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Rauf, Faseem Jr., Zaid Mahmood. Everybody deserves a lot of credit. The fielding was spot on in the final one international. And the way Pakistan dominated, the intent was absolutely amazing. The way they outclassed Australia, first of all, bowling, attacking fielding, as you just saw, a slip was there. Particularly most of the time picking up wickets. Then of course had the cover in place, fielding was superb, the bowling changes were absolutely spot on, and so they were trying their best to outclass the Australians, and that's what they did. So I think it's all about the positive intent. Of course we've won the series, it's a great omen, but at the same time we really need to appreciate the brand of positive cricket being played and the captaincy by Babar Azam, the way he's now leading with an attacking role as a captain and with the bat as well, scoring a century, again being crowned the player of the match and the player of the series as well for this one international series is absolutely superb. Tomorrow, of course, they'll be moving on to the lone T20 international that will be played at Qazafi Stadium in Lahore, action live on PTV Sports HD in high definition. And of course, that would now really be the cherry on top, because Australia won the test series, we won the one day internationals. There's a lone T20, so probably will set the tone for the series as well. But of course, like we said, Babar Azam continues to rewrite history. He is really a class apart. So is Imamul Haq, the way he's come up, taken the role of an opener, has understood the situation, understood the run rate, understood the importance of finishing a game. I think all of these things are very, very important. After that, some controversial things happening in the world of cricket, and we'll be talking about that. Bangladesh is very upset with umpiring decisions. Umpires' dependency on reviews is in question. Haven't seen much inconsistent umpiring, that was said by Khalid Mahmood. Shakib Al Hasan has demanded the ICC to reinstate neutral umpires. The amount of decisions that were overturned in this match alone say a lot. And I was just watching the video before the match, of course, because some of us who've played club cricket, who've played league cricket, who've played for our departments as well, we understand, because obviously we've gone through the process of umpiring as well on a domestic and a local level, and obviously on a department level as well. So some of us can understand the dynamics of umpiring. I understand some of these decisions might seem that they were very tough on the umpire, but I'll be really honest, 80% of them were clear-cut decisions, and I'm surprised. But then you got to give the benefit of the doubt to the umpires as well, but there is technology involved. It's a huge debate, but I'll try to have some constructive discussion on this as well. Time now to start off the show, first of all, with the Pakistan versus Australia series. Time now to introduce our guest in studios. First of all, we've been joined by sports expert Imran Janjua. Assalamu alaikum, how are you, sir?
Assalamu alaikum, Ahmad.
Good to have you on the show. And we've also been joined by cricket commentator and cricket expert on a lighter side, as we say. Asif Ahmad is joining us. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Wa alaikum assalam, good. Earlier on you were talking about the fantabulous Asif. Now you have started lighter note Asif.
Absolutely.
It's good,
I'll come to that, and we all love Asif Ahmad, so we'll come to that. But we've got a report on what we're discussing. First of all, let's take a look and then come back.
Babar Azam scored his second century in 2 matches to help Pakistan beat Australia by 9 wickets in the third one-day international. This was Pakistan's first series win against Australia in 20 years. The foundation of the win was laid by Pakistan's fiery pace trio of Haris Rauf, Mohammad Waseem and Shaheen Afridi, who bundled out Australia for 210 inside 42 overs. Shaheen removed in-form Travis Head with the first ball of the match before Haris dismissed Aaron Finch and Marnus Labuschagne in quick succession.
Bang in front as well, his head's all over the shot. Again, this is outstanding. Really good, simple catch, but that is so good. Marnus.
Alex Carey top scored for the tourists, and Ben McDermott, Sean Abbott and Cameron Green helped them pass the 200-run mark, but the Australian bowlers had little to defend. Nathan Ellis removed Fakhar Zaman for 17, but Imam and Baba ensured there was no dramatic batting collapse that would allow Australia back into the contest. Babar, who forged an unbroken 190-run partnership with Imam, hit 12 boundaries in his 16th ODI century. This was Babar's 16th ODI century, second most by a Pakistani batter in ODIs. He surpassed Mohammad Yusuf, who had scored 15 ODI centuries. Babar is also the quickest to reach 16 ODI centuries by reaching this feat in 84 innings. He left Hashim Amla behind by a margin of 10 innings. Babar also holds the record for the fastest to 7th, 13th, 14th and 15th ODI ton in world cricket. The Pakistani skipper has the highest average for any skipper in ODIs. Meanwhile, Pakistan's Imam ul Haq has broken 37-year-old record of England's Graham Gooch of scoring most runs in a 3-match ODI series against Australia. Imam scored 298 runs in the series to surpass runs scored by the Englishmen in 1985. Australia will end their first tour to Pakistan in 24 years with a one-off T20, which will be played tomorrow.
The diamond continues to shine, and the brilliance of the man lights up the stage once again. It is that man on screen, Babar Azam. There it is, with a mighty hit, as it steers Pakistan to a commanding series win. The first home series win against Australia since 1988.
There you have it. All you need to know about the series. We won, of course. We won the series. Babar's the player of the series as well, the player of the match. He's into the record books. He scored another century, and he also got a fantastic red SUV. How great was that? There was a competition between him and Imam, but I guess both of them will have a drive whenever they can. So they've enjoyed that moment as well. To discuss this further, let's start off the discussion. Imran, first of all, the importance of winning this one-day series. What's the importance of this right now?
Well, we're playing in our home ground series after such a long an Australian team visiting Pakistan, and the spectators and the fans saw a wonderful test series, though we lost. So winning the one-day series was very important for us as a team, for Babar as a captain, for the team overall. So they come back really well in the second and third ODI. But I think previously I was talking about 3 Ps. Now it's going to be 4 Ps now. So P for passion, planning process. So I think everything, the way Babar backed Imam ul Haq in this series is one of the highlights of the way Pakistan has won this. You've just seen in the report that he has surpassed a Gooch record. So the record after record by Babar himself, and then someone that he's backing, Imam ul Haq has scoring four centuries in one series in about 31 days. Is a terrific going for a man who always comes under critics, even if he performs. And then comes back to our bowling changes. The process was to read the pitch as it is, and I think I shared that earlier with you also, that this time they got the pitch right too, because there was some moisture on the side wickets, which they thought will help Pakistan bowlers when they'll bowl in the right areas. And Rauf, he should have made the debut for Pakistan had he been there in the third test with his pace, with his stamina, and then his knowing of Australian batsmen, because he has played apart from here. He's being a Qalandar, he's here because of his playing experience, playing down under. So I think Pakistan missed the trick in the third test match. They got it right in the third ODI. And Wasim Jr. So everything clicked, but it all came down to what a performer Shaheen is, Ahmad. Match after match, series after series. For the last few years, he's been terrific. The kind of stamina he shows, and what's the difference between why he's the #1 bowler right now? Because even in his first over, we've been talking about few synonymous, with few people, but I think with Shaheen, it's all about his first over, because he experiments. He doesn't normally what fast bowlers do, that they see the pitch in the first over. They pitch it a little back of the length, so that they know exactly that how the pitch is behaving, and the ball is behaving in the air and off the pitch. So what Shaheen does, contrary to any other fast bowler in the world right now, that he doesn't go for that. So what he goes for his Yorker length, very full length, because he believes that his ball moves in the air, and that is enough. The first wicket that you saw from where the Australian batsman slide started off.
Absolutely.
So and backed by Rauf, I think, and Wasim also. I think Zahid also has done well in the last ODI, and it was good for the team to back Wasim and Zahid. So that's why I think we've got the win, and it's a massive win, because it's a win with a lot of records, and someone when your leader performs, when your leader grows, and I think it's all about not just picking the right team. It's about seeing what goes around, what's coming around the corner. So I think he saw that in Imam. He saw that in few of the other teams. We have talked about that Siklan Mushtaq and Mohammad Yusuf, the team coaching staff. should be more involved, and we saw that they were involved. So together as one unit, I think everything clicked.
Everything
and
is clicking.
congratulations to both of you and Pakistan nation and cricket fans all across the globe for this wonderful ODI win by Pakistan against Australia.
Absolutely. I think overall it has really set the bar high for Pakistan's limited overseas, because before that, Asif, we have been saying that Pakistan's not played a lot of one-day cricket. There are certain problems that we need to address as well. The intent, the positivity, role of each and everybody, the way the captain was behaving around the field. So everything seems to be now in order.
Looks like that, and I wish if
continues.
Yes, if it continues. A really important thing is that if you do remember, in 2015, Pakistan lost the World Cup in Australia, and when we came back, the Pakistan team came back. We had a new captain, and that was Azhar Ali, who was not even in the squad of ODI. So, and in the really next series in Bangladesh, we lost against Bangladesh in Bangladesh. So your planning is definitely is the key to the success. That what you are planning basically. If you talk about the planning of Pakistan's ODI series against Australia was perfect, and Babar Azam has given an answer to the people like me that why he has chosen to bowl first while winning the toss. So I think that on the third ODI, it's pretty much straight and serious. You know that they've taken brilliant catches and they've bowled nicely. If you talk about that, Wasim Jr., he was right on the money. His line and length was perfect, and the way he got the confidence from his captain and the other bowlers like Shaheen Jafredi and Haris Rauf, and especially the bowling coach Sean Tate, has been phenomenal. So I think each and everything is going good. Why? Because you guys are trying to put your 100% there, and it's really important that it does not matter. The only other side, you know, that Waqar Zaman is still struggling with the same line. We talk about that, you know, that if you're going on his legs, targeting slow deliveries or a slow bouncer, that you always struggle and gives his wicket. So I think he should have to work on his mistakes, and because, you know, in next coming series, if you want, you cannot face Australia every time. That you're coming some, you know, Sri Lanka, Windies. We have Windies ODI series in Pakistan. That, but if you're performing against Australia, you'll get immense confidence and lots of appreciation, not from the Pakistan but all over the world. You know, because when you're playing against Australia, all over the world are watching you, and that because they're the king in the cricket.
Absolutely.
And this would we admit if you talk about...
And the Queens as well.
Now Queens as well, yes. So their cricket is pretty much better, and they are too much, if you talk about their specialities, they're all-round cricketers. Batting, fielding, their bowling, each and everything is perfect. So for Pakistan, I'm very much happy that the captain is performing, is leading from the front, and this is what we are lacking in Test series. That though he started well, he played well in Karachi, but one thing is really important, that in one team you should require, in ODI, in Test, in T20, you should require 4 or 5 match winners. With one match winner, you can't win every game. As we had observed in the PSL, Babar Azam was there, played well, but on the other side, the rest of the team was not supporting him. But here, you know that we got a couple of performances. You know, Imamul Haq was phenomenal, and thank you very much, Imam, giving us this treat. We're so happy that you're playing really nicely. Keep up and keep doing this well.
And finishing games.
And the finishing game is really important, and that's why I'm happy that you started well, you got the century. But if you're not finishing and your team is losing, then no one will enjoy.
Absolutely.
And one thing, the people who are talking about Babar Azam's strike, hopefully you got the answer.
They got the answer as well, but I still see you know, a sort of question mark that probably needs to be answered. Imran, in all of this, we've got Waqar Zaman, Imamul Haq, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan. The top 4 are identified. That number 5 spot is still in question. 2 matches we tried Saud Shakil, then of course we brought in Asif Ali. So, you know, things still look inconsistent at number 5.
It will settle down. Let's not forget Khushdil Shah, the way he performed in the second match. That's why we have won the series, because chasing 350 against this Australian team, though they were, remember before the ODI series, a lot of players had gone back. A few of their players were injured, and they after winning the Test series, a team like Australia, they always try out new players for an ODI series. This is what they believe in, unless it's a World Cup. You know, so they are looking at all good teams look at the cricket ahead, because you have a T20 cricket World Cup coming in, and you have a World Cup in India in 18 months also. So they had to try out new players and seeing how they perform in a subcontinent condition. So yeah, I think Pakistan, if you see Mamul Haq, Ahmed, I'll come back to your question later on because, of course, I've just covered that Khushdil Shah has performed well. There would be more batsmen. Kamran Ghulam we have talked about. There are so many others because Shahab is going to come in. So in every format, like we are saying that I think they were more tentative in terms of, because they didn't see their bowling and batting strength at full strength when it comes to Test cricket. That's why you saw a lot of tentative. And they were suffering because there were some bowling injuries to Fahim Ashraf and Hassan Ali. And then, they thought actually, and Ramiz Raja also said that, their opening batsmen, though they performed in the first test, so they were skeptical because playing against Australia and after they were coming here after 4-0 drubbing of England, so they thought that they're vulnerable against this Australian side. So had they shown faith in what they saw earlier in PSL, or if they had seen or mapped the test teams earlier, including the people who were not playing in PSLs, but how they were preparing. One P is for preparation. So I think Zahid and Numan performed in the first test match, but this is a baffling to all of us that our bowlers, our two spinners couldn't perform in a 3-test match series in a subcontinent, or let alone a Pakistani pitches, where Nathan Lyon, if you saw, he won it he won the series in the last session, backing his the faster bowlers. So I think in one-day series they got it right, and lower down the order, you're absolutely right. See, so the areas of improvement always have to be there. You got to see your spinners. You have to prepare them going ahead. Next 2 to 3 years, I think it has to be an emergency plan to come up with youngsters or training the right bowlers for the right format.
Right.
Yasir Shah we were being told that he was injured, not prepared, and everything. Unfit, and you saw that how he was
Pakistan
performing
Cup,
in
yes.
Pakistan Cup. So this shows also that apart from, because it is, of course, it is individuals. When you're representing Pakistan and you've been representing Pakistan for 5 or 10 years, the onus is on the individual players that they have to remain fit physically and mentally, and have to prepare themselves well, even if they are not playing, so that when the chance comes, they are ready for taking it for themselves and for the glory of the team too. So I think, but here is the cricket board role comes in, that this is their role, that apart from talking about the pitches and all that, they have to actually see that whether the players are ready, all right, what kind of conditions, what kind of strength that is required in preparation of a test series, like we have already talked about, the PSL tournament right before an Australian test series. That too after.
Very sad about the test series. It's not going away very easily.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I think we have just seen it. Had we shown some heart, had we backed Babar,
Yeah,
I think because the third test match, Babar, I think there was some selection. If the way Babar has shown his heart and backing of Imam, the third test match selection, because Rauf played. Had Zahid played in place of Sajid,
yeah.
Because in 2 matches we saw that Sajid, because of some issue, and baffling indeed, because you have a legend like Siklan Mushtaq in the dugout to correct him but if you're backing Zahid, fine, he had a great Bangladesh series and he's a great bowler, but if he couldn't perform in the first 2 test matches, so I think the test series, I think Babar in his heart knows that it is a miss, because I think if we got our selection right, and few players like Fawad Alam couldn't perform, so I think we could have rested Fawad Alam. He's a terrific
like you
servant of
always
Pakistan.
said, like you said, saving players.
Saving players, because they're great players, and they have some cricket left in them. So they need to be mapped and then prepared accordingly.
Then prepared, of course. Moving on very quickly, now we've got a T20 coming tomorrow. So Pakistan needs to carry that momentum, but there are certain concerns that maybe they can address. Asif, going into the T20, we want to carry the same momentum. We want to win, of course.
Yes, of course. You know that the big thing is that you got a really good victory against Australia in ODI series, and you got the confidence, and each and everything is going in smooth way. And
But you never know. We're unpredictable. You know that.
Yes, the important thing is the one point which I want to make a comment respectively with my dear brother Imran, that the Khushdil Shah, yes, is a good prospect. But the only thing is that if you want to perform in each format, especially in ODI or in T20, you should be perfect with your technique. So he got the problems with his technique. This is what no, I'm saying.
But Asif, what's his role, if I may ask? I mean, what's the role that he has in the team? We're still not sure because I
the
keep
role
on saying
is
number
the
5
role
is a
is
question
playing
mark.
till the end and
Finishing a game.
and finishing a game and giving us a victory. This is the role of the 11 players, not only Khushtil Shah, and seeing the bigger prospect. And I'm not going in that details that if you're coming on the number 6 and you got only 10 hours and you'd have to go for the hairy-fairy shots. But look, play whenever you're going and play according to the conditions, according to the situations. That if you require 8-9 hours, definitely you require a boundary. And if you're getting a boundary with the hairy-fairy shot, no one I won't mind that, to be very honest.
Yeah.
But if you're asking to play with the runner ball, and if you're throwing your wicket playing against the line, definitely I will talk about that. So if you are playing, the Khushtil Shah is a player who could hit sixes in the mid-wicket areas, onside areas. It's really good. But you could hit only a couple of times, this is, not every time.
Yeah, teams will map you out, yeah. That's
Yes,
true.
they will work you out that where your strength is, and your strength becomes your weaknesses sometimes. So I think that now I'm coming. So Khushtil Shah, good prospect, but would have to work on his technique.
T20, are we winning or not?
Yes. T20, I'm telling you that, and I've told you in another program as well, I'm giving 60% marks to Pakistan, that we are playing in home conditions. We're good in T20. We lost in semi-final in T20 World Cup, and that was bad luck actually. Hassan dropped a catch.
It's a good chance for you now to take revenge.
Yes, it's a good chance to take the revenge that you guys are enjoying. Your bowlers are performing well, batters are in good position, fielders are enjoying the victory. So I think that the right time to get another victory in T20 as well.
Right time as well. Imran, T20, right time to get a victory against Australia?
Of course, but I would still go with the Australian mindset. Why? Because, of course, it's just a one T20, and we got to look at it ahead. I think there are some players who should be given a chance. Of course, you have to win, but I think anyone who is in the team, they have performed in the T20 and even before championships. So I think if we try out one odd player, who's a surprise element, he can give you a surprise element. At the same time, it's good to give them a run in terms of people have been tried for test matches, one-day matches. So if there are a few players, I'm not happy that Kamran Ghulam and Zaman Khans and all those who were terrific performers.
Shan Masood,
yeah. So they're not even in their team, But coming back quickly on praising Imam. See, the second and the third innings that he has played. So I'm really happy that he's changing not just his mindset, but his technique too. That when to hit out, when to be aggressive. And the best thing I think what the overall youngsters can learn from Babar and Imam, the way they have played this one-day ODI series, is, and especially from our captain. And it's also backed up by Rizwan when he comes in. He couldn't perform, unfortunately, but he'll be there, in the next series. That is running between the wickets. Now, this is one area where we saw Australians and English team, and even India when they were performing better in the ODI. So all those teams, when you have good, chemistry, each other. All right, that comes with the more you play and everything. But again, the intent. So once you rotate the strike, I mean, chasing 350. No one ever believed, that Pakistan could do
Can
that.
do it, yes.
So, but here is something for the new batsmen or the people who are there to learn from Babar Azam, that he's just not the poetry in motion. It's all about knowing the situation, applying yourself to it, and the more you rotate, the strike, and this is especially true. The difference between Pakistan not winning the Test series. We have got few factors, but the important one was that we were not rotating even the strike over there also, because sometimes if it's difficult to score on a high strike rate, it's about the pressure has to go on the other team, and you do that once you rotate the strike. So our batsmen, they have learned, Imamul Haq especially, because he was performing 2 centuries in 1 matches, and how he has transpired in ODI series is that now he knows the art of changing the strike and giving the pressure to the other teams also, and releasing it also. So I think coming back to the T20, I think Pakistan should win, and I think we should try out some new players if we can.
Definitely, we should, but obviously the T20 is going to take place tomorrow. You can catch the action live on PTV Sports HD. It's a lone T20, all to play for from the Qazafi Stadium, Lahore. It's going to be a cricket extravaganza once again, Pakistan versus Australia. Now coming towards some other news, some controversy going on against Bangladesh and South Africa in their series, where Bangladesh seems to be upset with the standards of umpiring. Let's take a look at the visuals that we have, and some of these visuals on your screens will tell you why Bangladesh is so upset. Majority of these decisions had to be reviewed, referred and overturned as well. Some of them that were not reviewed were still there to be overturned, because what went on in ball tracking, what we saw, or by checking Ultra Edge, as the commentators normally do even if you don't take a review, told us that majority of these decisions were out. It's gone to an extent where Shakib Al Hassan has demanded the ICC to reinstate neutral umpires. Khalid Mahmood has also demanded that this is the worst standard of umpiring that we've seen ever. So, things are pretty bad. And I always believe that the umpires need to be given their fair share of grace, because obviously things can go wrong, but something might not look as appropriate. But we know that with Bangladesh cricket, problems have been there. We still remember the Asia Cup where they wanted a couple of runs just because they thought Azaz Shima pushed them in the final delivery. But things do often go wrong. But how do we address this problem is very important, considering that we've got DRS now in place, the technology of Ultra Edge, everything involved, ball tracking coming to an extent, new rules coming into play where, impact outside the line, umpires call, everything that is involved. So this is a big debate. Asif Ahmad, as a commentator, you're seeing this video right now. Would you give the benefit of the doubt to the umpires?
The important thing is that the cricket teaches us the sportsman spirit. All right, so if we talk about, if you do remember what happened in Pakistan in the third test, Azhar Ali was not happy with his decision, and the third umpire was Asif Yaqub, and we know that he was the best umpire in the ranking in the Pakistan, that he got the award as well.
But let's be clear to people, that was out. People
That
need
was
to know
actually,
that.
this is what I'm telling
Yes.
you, that the people were asking, that they were raising points that it was not the good decision. How and why? This is the question, that if we clearly see that the spikes are showing in your camera, and then how could you see in your visuals how the third umpire should give you not
Absolutely.
out?
I think
It's
I'll just interrupt Asif, but the ICC match referee appreciated him for taking such a brave
Yes,
decision.
that's right. That's right. So please, the first thing is that the umpires are giving their best, and nowadays there won't be any chance, that the umpire is the umpire. They do know the umpires. They do know that the cameras are there, each and everything. So I cannot doubt on their intentions. First thing. The second thing is that the Bangladeshis are now shouting, especially Shakib Al Hassan and Khalid Mahmood, that both of these skippers, former skippers, and they are asking for the neutral umpires. Dear, why you're not learning sportsman spirit? That you
I doubt Shakib will ever learn that. You remember that incident with the wickets and everything?
Yes. And Shakib Al Hassan, you remain in match fixing as well. If I'm not wrong, you do remember that. So we respect their opinion, but I don't agree with that, because this is cricket. Give some chance. And let me quote you an example of Aleem Dar. That Aleem Dar was standing in Asia series in Australia.
I remember that.
And Rinky Ponding was the captain, and they asked, and the batter was Kevin Peterson, and they asked for the caught behind, and Aleem Dar said not out. They went upstairs, asked for the referral, and the third umpire has given the same answer, that it's not out. Even then, they were begging actually that this is out. Come on, guys. The field umpire is saying not out. Then the third umpire is saying not out. Then what's the next? So you're not learning the sportsman
Absolutely.
spirit.
That is an
Shakib Al
issue.
Hassan, Khalid Mahmood, Bangladeshi teams, please try to understand and try to learn that what is sportsman spirit.
Imran, you had a look at these visuals as well. I understand technology is there. Teams become very competitive. Things go very aggressive in the world of cricket, even on the shows as well. That's how things go. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that human error can be involved. Do you think that it's completely justified? Do you give the doubt to the umpires, or do you think that this needs to be investigated further?
Okay, so this has been in question for a little while when one team, like Asif was saying, because once you are chasing a 270 odd and you get out on a 58 or a 60 odd score, so there are a lot of issues, of course, that come in. But it's a human human judgment versus and vis-a-vis the technology evolution. All right. So I think any questions coming from any team and decisions like that or a series like that, they've been coming in the past too. So I think ICC can look at it in this way, that because technology is evolving all the time. All right. When it comes to, I think we are very clear up till now, the technology has not overtaken the human element, and it shall never do that, because, and especially in Test cricket, because okay, commercialization and other factors in the shorter formats, that is fine, you know, because, but one crucial decision in a Test match can completely take the Test series away from one team, you know. So I think both have to really improve, because they have a clear-cut mapping of umpires. They map it, they train them, and I think with more advancement in the technology, with regards to technology, the umpires needs to be trained at the international level also, and through ICC, the respective Test playing nations, they should train the umpires, the local umpires too, because both have to go together.
But Bangladesh has problems. I mean, this has been in the past. Would you agree? We still remember our Asia Cup final against them, where they said we'll take it to the court of sports for arbitration, demand 7 runs or 4 runs. Now we've got this problem. There certain players have got issues of their own when it comes to cricket.
Yes, they have. Direct answer to you. Emerging nation, Bangladesh still they are improving as a team, but they're still not the top side when it comes to not just the results, but the way you play the cricket. So I think you're right in that way, and I think they need to learn out of it. All teams. There are a lot of teams in history. There have been controversies, like with the English team in the Ashes. There have been criticism from one side or the other, and this happens in a bilateral series. It happens in a bilateral series, but you don't make it a habit. So I think the umpires have to be respected in every way. They're not just humans in that, that one error goes wrong. The kind of scrutiny they are under, and so we need to look at the cup half filled, not just half empty. The kind of and it's not just half the cup. I think 95-96% of the decisions with this space, this kind of comparative cricket, if they are getting it right, so hats off to the Test umpires all across the globe. And I think like I said earlier, the ICC can improve the technology and the human element further.
It can be balanced.
It can be balanced, calibrated further.
And
yes.
Let me continue, and that the ICC is giving training, and that in the Pakistan we got several umpire programs, and they're getting their refresher courses as well. It's a really good, and their system is pretty much good, and up to the according to the advancement of the technology as well. But one thing that what I have quoted earlier regarding Ricky Ponting, the Flintoff has written an article, and he said that a man beyond technology, and that is Aneem Dar. One thing. The second thing, if we do remember that Anil Kumble got 10 wickets against Pakistan, Shahid Afridi was not happy with the decision, and same with the Mohammad Yusuf. And let's talk about the past, that this Sirikant got out by the Imran Khan, and he protested there that it's not out. And Imran Khan asked him,
gave him another chance.
Yes, and he got. so this is the human psyche.
But can we move to 5 reviews per side?
No, two. I mean, not more than 2. I'm happy with the 2, because that, and then every ball you guys are asking, going for the upstairs, wasting time, and as well, sometimes
especially on our side we take horrible reviews.
Yes, that's right. So Bangladeshis, please try to calm down and try to understand that what cricket is. Cricket is all about passion.
Had they won us, if things would be different.
They've tried well.
But I guess with both of my guests have adamantly put it that with technology and the way things are working now in cricket, umpires are in a lot of scrutiny. I mean, even if a decision is not reviewed, like I said, the commentators will themselves check for ball tracking, for ultra edge, and then will say, oh, this was out, they could have taken another decision. So it really affects the umpires as well. And I think, as Imran also mentioned, that technology can never replace that human element. That would always be there, and sometimes technology has its setbacks as well. But obviously, coming to the review system, we need to be honest, it has really helped cricket evolve.
Yeah. I think our Prime Minister, we will still call him, he's the he's not the
Yes.
ex-Prime Minister, because I think he's still in there. I think he was the first one, and few other cricketers who always believed in neutral umpiring. And I think this neutrality factor has come in with the technology. And what I was talking about technology, because coming with the technology background, I think the technology is advancing at a very fast rate, with artificial intelligence and a lot of other technologies coming and changing the world that we live in. I think going ahead in next 3 years, probably you'll see from ICC, that international companies, technology companies, will have a more role in terms of improving the matter that you're discussing.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, as the technology evolves, I think as we talked about the coaching and training of the test umpires also, all umpires, but especially test umpires. So I think with the right collaboration, I think this will improve further. The idea is the cricket needs to be played with the spirit, and at the same time enjoyed by all and sundry.
Absolutely. That is the final take. Asif, final thoughts on this? Obviously, things are improving. Technology, I understand ball sensors now come in. That's the latest technology that has been introduced to gauge the variation and the rotation on the ball. So things are improving rapidly.
Sometimes if you are thinking that I've asked for the referral and it's out, even then the third umpire, the technology goes with the field umpire and says even it's heading the stumps, but we'll go with the field
Umpire's
umpire.
call, yes.
So what does it mean? That it's really important to understand that the person who is standing and judging your deliveries, he is the man, and there is a chance for the error. But that's why they have asked for the third umpire for the referral.
Definitely.
Even then, if you're not getting results, please improve your cricket.
Please improve. K. Asif Ahmad and Imran Janjua, thank you very much for joining us on the show. It's been great having you. Of course, that being said, the two umpires involved, one of them was, of course, Maria Erasmus. They've got a great reputation. And I think at the end of the day, it is, of course, controversial, as some sides want it to be. But again, human error needs to be involved. The umpires do their best, utmost, and their sanctity needs to be respected. Obviously, Bangladesh has got the right to protest, and their case needs to be heard at the ICC. But at the same time, once again, I would request for all of our youngsters, everybody who's watching, even on the local club level, we see a lot of protests against the umpires. Even if it's from the home side that is batting, you need to understand that the umpire's decision does not need to be challenged. There is a sanctity of the umpire that needs to be respected, and for all our young players who are playing, I know some of you get very aggressive. I've often seen club games, friendly games being umpired by the same team members. Respect the umpire's decision. If he's saying it's a wide, don't go over the line. Just believe that it's a wide and play the game with the spirit of cricket that we always say. On that note, that's all we have time for. We'll join you tomorrow once again. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.